Hi, this is Survivor from Scrappy Mania, and today I'm going to create a layout with one page, and it's going to be another Christmas layout, and this is my niece, so I want to scrap this picture of her. It's one of those Christmas pictures that you get at the mall, and she's all dressed up, and her colors are red and black, so I want to make a Christmas, and there's some green in the background with trees and snow, so I want to make a Christmas theme layout using some reefs and things like that. So this is my sketch, and right here there's going to be a picture that's going to get matted, double matte. I'm going to create some kind of reef that's going to go around the pictures, and it's going to have a title somewhere here or here, either a banner here or a title here. I'm not too sure yet of this embellishment, but I do know that I need something up here on the top. And then I want to, on a diagonal, I'm going to put some more stuff here. And I want to put some clusters here with some clusters here. I'm also going to put one, so that's a 12 by 12. And then I think I'm going to create another frame, and it's going to be more like a border frame. Maybe I'll use a border stamp to create the frame. And then I'm going to use another pattern paper or subtle pattern, I'm not sure, that's going to be in the middle here, the reef, the title, and that's pretty much it. So let me show you what I'm going to be using to create this layout. I'm going to be using some of this glitter cardstock by Die Cut with a View. I love this cardstock. The glitter is very fine, and it's very, very pretty, as you can see here. So I really like this glitter. It's not a chunky glitter like some other cardstock. It's a nice, smooth, beautiful glitter paper. The other one that I'm going to be using is the shimmer stack. And I am going to use this, and it's basically for my embellishments and for my title. I'm going to be using this shimmer pack. Now for the pattern papers, I'm going to use this paper pad that I've been using in my last two layouts. And it's the old Christmas tree paper pad from My Mind's Eyes, and it's an old paper pad, 2010. So the papers that I'm going to be using there, I might be using this. These are some of the papers that I picked for this layout because, as you can see, it goes very nicely with her dress, and it's in the Christmas colors. I think I'm going to be using that. I'm not sure yet, but I believe I might be using that, and then some of this. So I'm going to also be using this circle for my reef. And even though the color does not go, it's going to be hidden because what I did is I have this stamp. So let me show you the stamp that I used to create that reef. Okay, so you're not going to see this, so because I have this stamp, and it's by Stupendous, and this is the Cardinals. It's actually called the Cardinals, Jumbo Cardinals. And I'm going to be using this to create my reef, and then I'm going to be using the bird for some of my accents. And what I'm going to do is, as you can see here, I'm going to probably cut some of this stuff out and really lay down my reef here, so that way it hides that green cardstock, because it's just a little too loud, and I really don't want that loud green on my background. And if I would have thought of this before, I think I would have used a different green, but this is what I grabbed, because I figured I was going to hide it with all my embellishments. I'm also going to put some of these in between here somehow. And I'm also going to use this little tag. Now this was created by using this stamps that I purchased at Michael's. So it's a set of 3. And they're nesting stamps, as you can see. It all fits nicely in a little package, but you get 3 different stamps here in this collection. So I'm going to put that there. Here's the jingle I may put this here, and then this is my bird, and that's from this stamp. So what I did, I just stamped it 3 times, and then I layered it, and see how you have dimension there? It's 3 layers thick. I may use this somewhere here, a little Christmas tree. And then I believe that's it. And then with the layout, very simple. That's going to go in the middle. So let me go ahead and start cutting out the papers. And I'm going to speed up the video, and I hope you like this tutorial. Because the focus of this layout is going to be my pictures, so I'm going to start double matting my pictures. I'm putting a little bit of this dressing ink on the side. And then that last mat, you'll see in a moment, I'm going to use a stamp to create a frame around that last mat. And these are my Anna Griffin lace stamps that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. And if you notice, I'm mitening the corners using some sticky notes. And once you finish stamping, you just remove the sticky notes and you get a perfect miter corner every time. So I'm just using some glue dots, and I'm going to set that aside. And now I'm getting ready because I'm going to do another treatment. I want to put a frame on that layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use another lace border from that same stamp from Anna Griffin. And I'm going to use this to create borders, and then I'm going to use those borders. I'm going to create 4 of those. I'm going to use those corners to create a frame for one of my layers. And these stamps are great. I love them because you really don't see where the end or the start of the stamp is. It really goes together well. So here I'm just going to adhere these on all 4 corners of one of my layers, which it measures 10 by 10. And then after I put them together, I am going to miter the corners, and I'll show you how it's done. You take a ruler, and you're going to measure from corner to corner, as you can see there, and just lightly cut the paper, just making sure that you don't cut to the second layer. So lightly just cut the paper with your craft scissors or craft knife, and that creates a perfect miter corner each and every time. But then I felt like that paper with all that embellishment or all that busyness was getting lost. So the best way when you are using pattern papers together is to put a solid color paper in between all the patterns, and that will help you distinguish between one layer to the next. As you can see there, to me that helped kind of frame out that one layer, that last layer, against the base page. It helps it so that way it doesn't get lost in all the patterns. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create my wreath. So I'm just going to glue all the stamp garlands that I created. I'm just going to stamp it, not stamp it, but I'm going to glue it around the wreath. And those holly berries that you see there was created with glitter glue. So I had some red glitter glue. And after I watercolored the image, and I went back with it, and I put little dots of glitter glue on each and every holly. And see, as you can see, as I layer these leaves, it's hiding that green circle or that green cardstock that I use, and you don't see it anymore. So I decided to put the bird there, and I'm just kind of figure out where everything is going to go. But before I really start gluing everything together, I'm going to go ahead and bring it back to my page and kind of audition it to see how it looks. So I want to put because again, like I said, the focus of this layout, it is the picture. And if you notice, the picture It's nice and bright. It is red, and all the papers and everything I have selected for this layout is actually kind of more subdued. It's not as red as her dress, because that way your eyes would be drawn to her instead of all the other embellishments, because embellishments are kind of busy. So then I got this sleigh. I just cut out the sleigh from this paper pad, and I wanted to put that as also another element on the page. And I'm decided because there's a lot of dimension with those hollies and those leaves on that wreath. I decided to put some foam dots on most of my embellishments, so that way it helps pop it up from the page, and it's not too bulky either. That's what I like about this. There's some dimension on this page. However, it's not very bulky like some of my page. They get to get very bulky with all the layers of flowers that I place. This one, I really like this technique because it wasn't that bulky. By cutting out the leaves and then just placing them with glue around another circle, it really didn't make it very thick. Okay, so now that I'm done with the layout, and let's go over my sketch. Now, you don't have to be a sketch artist or, have a lot of talent on drawing. Obviously, I don't have any talent when it comes to drawing, but, it's a kind of rough draft. I had an idea of what I wanted, and I just sketched it as best as I could. And, the wreath, I wanted a wreath. I wanted a double mat, my pictures. I wanted some triple mat here or double mat here. However, I did want it to have that frame. So I wanted a 12 by 12. I wanted to framed it with another layer of scrapbook and scrap paper and another layer of scrap paper underneath that. So, and then using design principles, I wanted to put something on a diagonal. I wanted a little embellishment here, little embellishment here to bring your eyes over the embellishment, and then your pictures, and then down here with my title and journaling is going to be. So here's the interpretation of this sketch. So here's my wreath with my stamp leaves and hollies and stuff like that. Here are my poinsettias that I did with the Anna Griffin cartridge. Here's my bird. So this layer here, so this right here is actually this, which was the bird. My journaling, I didn't put the title here, I just put a journaling there. And then I added a sleigh and a tree, and as you notice, everything is touching each other. So as I layer things, I want to make sure that I touch each element with each other, because it makes it look like it's a grouping and it belongs together. Same as my poinsettias. I put a poinsettia here, which is underneath the bird. This poinsettia is touching the sled, which is touching the journaling area. The bow is right here. And then my tree is touching the picture, which touches the sled. So all this looks like it belongs together. It's a grouping. If I would have put the tree over here on its own, maybe the sled over here on its own, it would not look cohesive. It looked like it was out of place, and it wouldn't be pleasing to the eye. Then up here, notice I created another cluster. So here I put a banner and I put ho ho ho. That and that was my clue of putting some kind of Christmas saying or something up here. So, and that's how I put jingle. And then notice I put a poinsettia, which is touching the title. And this poinsettia is right on top of the title. So if I would have put the poinsettia here and this one here, it would have not looked cohesive. So this looks like its own little cluster. As you look at this cluster, your eye travels to the pictures, and notice my colors. The picture is what's bright. My title is what's bright. Everything else is kind of faded in the background. So when you look at this layout, you're immediately going to get drawn into the sweet little face of my niece, her beautiful little dress, and the title. So you are kind of drawn to this area in particular. And if we look at the principles of thirds, I divide this page in thirds, so this is 1/3, this is another third, and then 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Her face is right here where this is 1. So a line, just pretend there's a line intersection here, a line intersecting here, then another line intersecting here, and another line intersecting here. So her face is right in between this area, which is where the lines intersect in the rules of third. And so your eyes is going to automatically get drawn to the pictures. So I hope I kind of gave you an idea and kind of explained to you why I made this layout and how and what was I thinking while I was designing the layout and putting everything together. So I hope you like this, and thank you for watching. Bye now.